Okay, this is activity AX11, and you're supposed to make that part and uh, save it. Okay, so the dimensions are in millimeters, and therefore I want to show you first how to switch your units, and this is how it was done. Tools, options, and under parameters and measures, units, and you can change your units to whatever you want, which I want millimeters. Good. The other thing is I want to make sure that your sketcher has the proper grid size. So how are we going to do that? And the reason is that uh, notice that these are roughly 4 millimeter, 5 millimeters. So we don't want something to be the grid that we have, for example, each grid unit to be 100 millimeter. We want to change that. And the way to do that, you go to tools options, and under part under part where's that? Mechanical design, under sketcher, notice that the default unit was changed. I changed it. The default, I believe, is 100, and I changed it to 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter, and there are 10 subdivisions in each. So this is already done and it's good. The other thing is that, at least right now, when we are dealing with parts, I don't use the product file. Product is for assembly. So I'm going to close this, and instead I start either from here, part file. Okay. You can change the name right here. So let me change the name AX11 and say OK. And notice that the part is created immediately. I'm going to save this thing. So I always use file save management. I suggest you get used to do that. Save as. On my desktop, I create a new folder called CAD, week 1 CAD, week 1 CAD. And we're going to put this thing in that folder. All right. So let's go ahead and start our modeling. So on the vertical plane, on this vertical plane, I put these things side by side so that you could see the dimensions. So on that vertical plane, I will sketch. Now notice that each one of these squares is 10 millimeters, and it's divided into 10 subdivisions. Each one of these subdivisions is 1. So in order for me to draw something like that roughly, incidentally, there is something missing here. There is an angle. This angle is 90 degrees, and it doesn't say that, but this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. So let me zoom in here and draw something that kind of resembles like that. I use the profile to draw something of that kind, maybe a line like that. Because remember, this side is 1.5 millimeter, so 90 degrees. You can see that roughly like that, and then go over here, and this is roughly 3.5 inches, and you go down, and you close this. I noticed that this actually is not horizontal, so we can fix it. Right click. Well, for example, you can select the one way of doing it, select the constraint. On here, right click, you make it horizontal, and it turns it into horizontal. There are other ways of doing it too. So let's make this angle to be 30 degrees first. So this angle, let me zoom in, this angle between that line and this line, this is 60 degrees. Okay, that side is 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if this is 90 degrees or not. We'll find out. Well, let's put this side here. That side is 1 inch, 1 millimeter. So you click on this. So that's going to be 1 millimeter. Okay, good. That angle is 60 degrees. Between this side and this side is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. Okay. And this bottom edge is, what is that, 4.5? Yeah, 4.5. Okay, so what else do we know? Oh, this side is 3.5. 3.5. 3.5. Okay, and actually, I have to eat my words. I told you that this is 90 degrees, and it's not. You can see that. In fact, if I try to make it 90 degrees, I'll probably get these things turned purple. Let's try it. Angle between here and here. Yeah, you see that? That I have to eat my word. This angle is not 90 degrees. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So what you see there is pretty much what you have over here. Now let's go ahead and do the circle. So we're going to do a circle. We draw it anywhere we want. Just try to not put any constraints here. See that? For example, when these dashed things appear, means that you're trying to do a constraint. I don't want to try to do a constraint. Either move the cursor or hold the shift button so that no constraints are active. So I'm going to draw a circle here. Click, draw a circle. Okay. Without any constraints. Let's put some dimension. The radius of that circle is 0.5. This radius is 0.5. 0.5. Okay. And the position of the circle to that bottom is 1. Dimension from here to here is 1. And the dimension from there to that vertical line is 3.5. So from here to this vertical line is 3.5. Okay. Let me take a break for a second. Okay, I just realized that this diameter should actually be 1, not 0.5. So double click on this thing, make it 1. All right. Also, this angle is kind of confusing the way it is. So I'm going to drag it so that I can see it better here, 60 degrees. Now, this other circle, let's draw that circle anywhere here without any constraints. Let me dimension it. The diameter of that is 0.5. Diameter is 0.5. Okay. And the location of it is, let's see now, half a millimeter from here and 1 millimeter from the other side. So from here to here is half a millimeter, 0.5, and from here to there, it is actually 1. So what you see there is precisely what you have on the side in this drawing. Now let me maximize that for a second. Okay. A couple of things I want to tell you, and that is notice that this sketch is not fully constrained because I haven't said where that location is. There are different ways of doing it. You can give the location of this point in terms of dimension, or you can say, I want this point to be coincident with that location, 0, 0. And what for example, one way of doing that, you select this point, control control that point. Okay, you selected this point. You see it's orange. Control this point, and then here it says constraint defined in dialog box. You click on it. You say coincident. And there's so many different ways of doing the same thing. For example, you can put a dimension, make a dimension equal to 0. You can put a dimension and right click coincident, etc. So exit. All right, and this is a pad operation. I don't know what was the thickness of this pad. What is that? It looks like it's I don't know, maybe 0.25. It looks like it's 0.25 millimeter. Yeah. The only thing is that you might say, but what about these circles? They're supposed to be circle. Yes, they are, and you can change the setting so that it looks like a circle. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Tools, Options. Once again, under this display, under Performance. You see that performance? Well, let's try 2D accuracy first. 2D accuracy. Yeah, probably that one. Let's put it all the way to the end. That's better. It is better, but not as good as I want. So let's do it again. Tools, Options. This time proportional here. This is the maximum that we could give it. But let's do this 3D. Let's try it now. There we are. So by dragging those sliders, you can make this thing more circle-ish as you want. Okay. So once you're done, all you have to do is to click on the floppy because you already saved that in the folder using file save management. When you do it like that, you click on this, it just overwrites that. That's pretty much it. And that takes care of this activity.